I guaranteed to you that if you stayed with me for 3 days and did exactly what I tell you to do, the problem will be solved.
Yeah.
Now I have a question.
Yeah.
Did we solve the problem?
Yes.
Ta-da!
I can actually do many things that I couldn't do before. I can ask questions to my professor that I was scared to ask before. I can also do my thesis defense successfully. I can do all those presentations with ease. I can communicate with people, make new friends, communicate with family members. I was talking to my mom the other day and she said, "You don't stutter anymore," and she was surprised. And this actually means a lot to me. So it's like a liberation for me. So my difficulties in regard to stuttering is that when I'm talking to myself, then it's easier to, then I don't really stutter as much, but when I'm talking to, I'd say, certain types of people, then it's like I'm trying to say the word, but like it's not coming out. Like I feel in my whole body, like just like tense, like it tightens up, like the whole body tightens up, and then like the word just doesn't come out. And, maybe the throat or maybe chest area or so after I'm tense, then the word is not coming out, so I stop, and then after I stop, I try to think of a new word that's easier to say, I guess. I was learning something that I never expected before, because what I've learned outside this class was very different from what I learned in this class. And I would say I learned a lot. And it's very new knowledge that I can apply to my life. And I did see progress right away.
Is it worth it to take even 1-day course?
Yes, 100%. It's very new information that you won't find anywhere else. And it's very useful. It's very simple as well. The first time I learned that something was wrong with me was one time I was reading a book. And we used to live in a house where we lived upstairs and there were people living in the basement. And one day I was reading a book and I said, book. And then the downstairs people started copying me. They also started saying book, just to because they thought it was funny, I guess. And I think I might have been only maybe 2 years old. And I think that's when I realized that this is not normal. I also remember that in school I used to be a part of something called ESL, which are special students. So the professor helps the students, and I think the person who used to help me was a speech therapist. And she would train me to speak, and she would say that after she's done working with me, I'm going to have a presentation and talk about how I overcame stuttering in the class. And I think this was elementary school, but we never had that presentation. But after that, I remember I just stuttered for all my classes. And then after that, I think it just got worse and worse, and there was no one to correct it for me. One speech therapist was at my school. The second one was at this hospital. And they told me that there's these breathing exercises. You're supposed to breathe from the stomach, not from the chest. So if you breathe from the stomach, it's supposed to help speech become more smooth or something. And they also talked about how to talk very slowly and also breathe before you speak, like hello, like that. Or so you have to breathe and then you speak. So they taught all these techniques, but I remember none of them worked. And it continued throughout high school and in university as well. So what I would do in university is I would tell the professors that I can't present because I stutter, and the professors would let me present personally. So I wouldn't present to the class, I would only present to the professor. So I completed my bachelor's and I was doing my master's now. So for a master's, at the end of the degree, you have to do something called a Thesis Defense, where you present your research and there's 4 professors that challenge your research. And you have to convince them that your research is trustworthy, and it goes on for like 2 hours or even 3 hours. So there's a lot of talking, and after that you can pass your defense. And then you get your master's degree after that. So when I thought about that, I realized that how will I do this? Because I have to talk for 2-3 hours non-stop and answer all those questions. And there's no escape as well. So that's when I started thinking about fixing this problem. Every YouTube video I saw was talking about how there's no cure, that you have to accept it. But then I saw one video from you, and you show how people improved. So then I started thinking about how that it might be trustworthy, but then I also thought about that they might be actors, that you paid actors and they're just doing that on purpose. But
are you an actor?
No. Yeah. I think it was hard to believe because the videos had few views. And then I went to your website and I saw those reviews. I also noticed that you were on TV shows as well. So then I started thinking about if you were not reliable, why would you be on TV shows? And that started convincing me more. But there is a video on YouTube that actually criticizes you.
Of course, it's a competition.
Yeah.
You know, I understand that I don't have a competition in reality.
Yeah.
What can they do? They cannot show the videos that I show. That's why they just throw dirt at me.
Yeah.
Some people are scared, like just like what you said. You kind of took a step back, right? But then you returned.
Yeah. I returned because I thought that overcoming this is more important than trying to have all these arguments of who's right and who's wrong. I wanted to change myself. So.
Absolutely, because if you are looking for the 100% solution, then you gotta come to a person who offers this solution and listen to what the person says, not what other talk about this person, because those others, they cannot do what I can.
Yeah, that's true. You said you want to have a free Zoom consultation. So I found that really nice. So I had a consultation with you, and the stuff you were saying made a lot of sense. So I started trusting you more, I guess. And then you said that I can do the 1-day course and come back for a 3-day course. So then I realized that if you were just a scammer, you would have only done the 3-day course and never called back or something. But since you offered the 1-day course, that increased my trust, I guess. So I decided to do the 1-day course. And after the 1-day course, I did see results. And everything you said made sense. And I applied it and it worked. And then to complete the course, I came back, I think 1 month later. And now I did the full-day course. And I can see a lot of improvement. After 1 day, my impression was that this is stuff that I've never learned before. I've always been taught something else, and this course teaches something that is like beyond what I ever thought about. And it also works and it makes sense.
So why did you decide to come back and complete the course?
I decided to come back because there was one problem I had, which was keeping my attention focused during presentations. So I could talk to friends very normally or family members, but during presentations there was still a problem. And I think after the presentation, I started telling myself that, well, I can't do this. And then because of that, I think it started getting worse. So then I couldn't talk properly with friends either, friends or family members as well. So then I decided to complete the course because I know that I saw results from the first day. And you also said that it's a guarantee for the 3-day course, not the 1-day course.
Yeah.
So that's the reason I decided to go for the 3-day course.
I guaranteed to you that if you stayed with me for 3 days and did exactly what I tell you to do, the problem will be solved.
Yeah.
Now I have a question.
Yeah.
Did we solve the problem?
Yes.
Ta-da! Of course!
Oh, this course is something that's like beyond what I ever thought about. The speech therapist, what they taught was not working, it was useless, it was a waste of money and a waste of time. But this course was definitely worth it. And it helped a lot, and it got rid of my stuttering. And I also want to say that I'm not an actor. It actually worked for me. So I'm a university student. I completed my bachelor's. And I did a degree in both biology and chemistry. And later on, I was doing my master's. So I'm a scientist, and I want to replace animal testing with computer models. So that's the goal of my research. And that job involves a lot of communication, where you meet different people from the government, and you have to give presentations on your work after you complete your risk assessments and all that. I can actually do many things that I couldn't do before. I can ask questions to my professor that I was scared to ask before. I can also do my thesis defense successfully. I can do all those presentations with ease. I can communicate with people, make new friends, communicate with family members. I was talking to my mom the other day and she said, "You don't stutter anymore," and she was surprised. And this actually means a lot to me, so it's like a liberation for me. I recommend that others should take this class with you if they stutter. I used to be very skeptical about the class, but what you taught was beyond what I can even imagine, and it was really nice to take this class, and I can say that I'm not an actor and my stutter got cured. I just wanted to tell you that I'm very thankful for what you did, and I was very skeptical at first, but you proved me wrong and fixed my problem. And yeah, I just want to say I'm very thankful, and I can't explain it in words how much I want to thank you, but it meant a lot. So thanks for all the help.